You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
"11 months in the making, and we are finally at the last game of the Madden 18 cycle. It has been a wild ride here in the Madden Bomber League, but before we get to our goodbyes and our look back on the cycle, we've got to crown a champion here for Season 32, and we've got the NBL Live pregame show to kick things off. It's always brought to you by our graphics sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do a ton of graphics for our entire NBL network, including overlays, a ton of those graphics you see on our original programming. And they have a fantastic deal going on. If you let them know NBL sent you, you got some graphics you need done, custom work, top quality work, let them know NBL sent you. You'll get 15% off your entire order. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, folks. I'm OSU. We've got a three-man booth going on tonight. We've got the co-commish Lip, owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what I will assume will be the future owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he keeps throwing those curveballs, you never know. And the current owner of the Tennessee Titans, future owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, no doubt whatsoever, Sonny Weaver on the call. There's no doubt. It's just no doubt whatsoever. The three things you can count on in life are death, taxes, and Sonny's going to take the Bengals. We have a fantastic game. Browns looking to be repeat Super Bowl champions after winning it last year in Season 31. The Detroit Lions looking for their second title of the cycle as well. Lip, finally, we've had 6 seasons here in Madden 18, 6 different owners. We're going to have our first repeat champion of the cycle. And really, you couldn't think of 2 better teams to be there. The Browns have really come on as late as one of the best teams in the NBL, and the Detroit Lions have just been so consistent throughout the cycle.
Yeah, and that truly is an amazing thing that we are in the final game of this cycle, the last Super Bowl, and this is, we made it this far. At some point, by the end of the night, we will have a repeat champion, and it has just been a special cycle to get to this point and say that has been phenomenal. As far as these two teams, they've had incredible cycles. As we all know, the big story is these Browns going for the repeat. I think that they've got a heck of a shot to do that with that great defense, but they have a big-time monster to try to suffocate in Aaron Rodgers on that Detroit Lions offense. And
Sonny Weaver, you're looking at the Cleveland Browns. This is a very good team defensively, but they're going to have their hands full, which what I will go as to say, I think is the best wide receiver we have ever seen in the NBL in HB18, Harvey Beckham. He has had an MVP year, and he just continues to impress, especially after that NFC Championship performance.
The guy just keeps showing up, and he's shown up the whole cycle. One of the best players we've seen entire cycle for sure. And he gets a running mate back tonight, Kendrick Montgomery, coming back from injury. So two-headed monster out there for the Browns try to figure out how to stop.
Before we look at our players to watch for today's game, got a couple pieces of business to get to. First, of course, we have to remind you, if you haven't signed up yet, well, time is running out. Sign up for our 64-player EA Access Tournament. First place gets that signed Saquon Barkley helmet. It is for charity, for Operation Homefront, a fantastic charity that serves our military families with food assistance, financial assistance, repairs, anything our military families needs, Operation Homefront helps out with. 100% of our proceeds will be going to Operation Homefront. And if you go to our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com, not only can you sign up for the EA Access Tournament, link's in the chat right now. It's under the EA Access Tournament link. You can sign up for the tournament, completely free to enter. We're giving away over $1,000 worth of prizes. At the same time, we also have our EA Access t-shirts being sold there from our official t-shirt sponsor, Came From Nothing Clothing. They are fantastic t-shirts. I just got my 3 in this week. 50% of proceeds of the t-shirt sale go into Operation Homefront, and they are just some really, really nice t-shirts. So make sure you go sign up for that tournament. We'll have some details on a subscriber-only giveaway a little bit later, but we've got to give away an award right now, an award we always give out during the NBL Super Bowl here. It is the AME Award, the Achievement in Media Excellence, given out by the network director to the person on the network staff that has contributed the most to the network during this season. And this season's AME Award winner is none other than the fruit himself, Bananas, Ryan Cypress, who's done such a fantastic job as we've gotten bonus coverage going here on the NBL Network. I feel like every time I look in the chat, I see Bomber telling Bananas to hop on and get that production train going to get bonus coverage rolling. Lip, we know what Bananas has done in the league, for the league outside of the network. He has come onto the network as a producer and has really been that guy that we've been able to go to whenever we need him just to throw up a game and make sure we get our Twitch hours up, and he has been super crucial to the growth of the NBL Network.
Yeah, that is a huge thing. Congratulations, Bananas. You deserve it. Not only the biggest thing there is the bonus coverage, like you said, the Twitch hours, but just always having something going on in the network. Bananas, with all those Twitter videos hyping up NBL Live, also, so many times you see Bananas out there hyping up the games. And not only that, he's jumped on Commish Corner a time or two. So he's always been available, always putting his time and effort into this, learning, getting better. Congratulations, Bananas, definitely deserving of this award.
I gotta say, in many seasons when we give out this Achievement and Media Excellence Award, it's really not a contest. There's one guy who has really stood out. No doubt Bananas has done that, but this was probably the hardest season I've ever had to give out this award. So I gotta give some honorable mentions, of course, to our entire Bleacher Report team. Bananas on that Bleacher Report team, but Timbo JY does a ton of work for Bleacher Report, has also helped out Highly Debatable and some of our podcasts with graphics. He's fantastic. Of course, Jamie, I Really Hate Mark in the chat, doing a ton of those NBL Live graphics, those player to watch graphics you see each and every week. And of course, the assistant network director, Unisolated, hopping on, doing some producing for podcasts, as well as generally holding down the fort while I've been out of town about 18 times in the last season. So a big shout out to the entire network team. Let's get to the players to watch for today's game for the Super Bowl here in season 32 between the Lions and the Browns. And first, on the side of the Detroit Lions, Sonny, it's Harvey Beckham, HB18, and in the two games that the Lions have played against the Giants and the Seahawks, well, Harvey Beckham has just had 10 receptions, 252 yards, and a touchdown. He is the season 32 MVP. He is the major weapon for the Detroit Lions, and we saw against the Seattle Seahawks mostly. This was the guy that the Seahawks just didn't have an answer for. This Cleveland Browns secondary, a little better than that Seahawks secondary, but Harvey Beckham's just a matchup nightmare no matter who you put across from him.
And right now, everybody's looking at this graphic and saying 10 receptions, 252 yards, 25.2 yards a reception. That seems kind of crazy, but honestly, folks, it's really not. On the year, 104 receptions, averaging 19 yards, almost 2,000 yards on the season. The guy's the human highlight reel. It's something you got to watch throughout the game. And now if I'm the Browns, I think I'm probably going to play him tight the whole game, get some press on him. Watch the speed of that, really effective in the crossing route. But if you let him get open field, this guy's hard to tackle. Watch for the spin move. He will leave your jockstrap on the field.
Big shout out to Southwest G now following here on Twitch. On the flip side, for the Cleveland Browns, we've got Myles Garrett, and Myles Garrett has only done what he has done all season long. 5.5 sacks in 2 games in the playoffs, 10 tackles, including 1 for loss. We saw him against the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a nightmare for James Straseljic in the backfield all game long. And we got to say, Lip, one of the keys to beating the Detroit Lions is getting pressure on Aaron Rodgers, not giving him time in the pocket, and that's going to be Myles Garrett's key today.
Yeah, this defense is the big thing in the NBL right now. They're number one in every single stat line you can think of. And it all starts with Myles Garrett, 6'4", 272. We all know out of Texas A&M, and he has had an incredible NBL career. Over 10 sacks every single season. Definitely going to be one of the top 25 players from this cycle. But like you said, it all starts with him, and it all starts with getting pressure to Aaron Rodgers, because the way you limit HB18 is you put pressure on Aaron Rodgers, make him uncomfortable, and make him make mistakes.
Let's take a look at what our Bleacher Report team predicted for the season 32 Super Bowl, and this one leaning towards the Detroit Lions. Timbo, Fella, JY, and Sclam all going the way of the Commish Bomber, where Bananas and MBM go on the flip side and saying that the Cleveland Browns are going to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Get your predictions into the chat, folks. We'd love to see what you guys think. Who's going to win the final Super Bowl, the final game of Madden 18 here in the Madden Bomber League? Let's get my co-host predictions. First, starting off with Sonny Weaver. Sonny, who do you like today? Is it going to be repeat time in Cleveland, or will the Detroit Lions get their second title of the Super Bowl, their second Super Bowl of the cycle, and will Bomber get to brag a little bit going into Madden 19?
Well, that right there, I think, is the key to victory tonight. Bomber's ability to brag for the next month. It's undefinable. You can't really materialize or even put any sort of value on what that means to him. I think what you're going to see tonight is Harvey Beckham moved all around the field. I think you're going to see some things you haven't seen the last couple times we've seen him here on live. I think they've got some answers here for the Cleveland Browns, and I think Aaron Rodgers is not going to throw interceptions or 6 interceptions tonight, and that's why I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to win tonight in a shootout, 38-35 Lions.
Lip, you know this Cleveland Browns team playing in the same division. Do you like the Browns to repeat as champions, or do you like the Detroit Lions, another team that you, as the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, have seen quite a couple times in the playoffs? Who do you like to win this game and win the final Super Bowl of Madden 18?
It's very tough to pick because it's so challenging to go back to back, but this Browns defense is a lot better than it was the past couple of seasons. And in that last Super Bowl that they met against the Detroit Lions, they gave them a little bit of trouble. So I think the Detroit's, taken a couple steps back since that game. The Browns have taken a couple steps forward. It's incredibly close. It's so challenging to pick a winner, but I think because of those steps, with the development of this Cleveland Browns defense emerging as one of the best defenses we've ever seen, I think that's leading me to take them in a 31-24 victory over the Lions.
Well, there is only one way to find out, folks. Let's close out Madden 18 with a fantastic game and crown a champion here for Season 32. Coming up next, it's a battle for supremacy. The king of Madden 18 will be crowned with this final Super Bowl. It will be either the Cleveland Browns or the Detroit Lions. They're going to hash it out on the field. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
I just want to say, hey, man, this is T.O., the cover athlete of the Madden 19 Hall of Fame edition, and you're watching the gold standard of the franchise mode, the NBL Network. Holla.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks, who catches and makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is coming back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow.
That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. NBL Live broadcast 232 is live here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. We appreciate each and every one of you joining us for the NBL Season 32 Super Bowl. It is the 13-3 champions of the NFC North, the Detroit Lions, representing the NFC, taking on representing the AFC, the champions of the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns, coming in at 14-2. What a matchup we have today, crowning our first two-time champion of the cycle, and what better way to do it than in the last game of the Madden 18 cycle. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. I'm OSU, your NBL Network Director. I've got a three-man booth tonight. We've got the co-commissioner, Lip, owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we have the owner of the Tennessee Titans, the NBL Creative Director, the host of Highly Debatable, I'm sorry, I messed that up. It's Sonny Weaver. As on the first play, it's a fumble and a turnover going to the Detroit Lions. Oh, Lip. Disaster for the Browns as they try to take that kickoff back and turn it over before getting the offense on the field.
Yeah, this is where this is a big situation, because immediately you get all hyped up, ready to go out on offense. The special teams fall short, and now your defense, unprepared, has to go onto the field. Very short field on the 27-yard line to face Aaron Rodgers and HB18. This is a bad start for Cleveland, but their defense is good enough. Let's see how they do.
Let's see what the Detroit Lions do with a short field, two tight ends, two wide receivers. Aaron Rodgers under center, Le'Veon Bell in the backfield on first down. It's going to be Le'Veon Bell getting a carry, a little counterplay to the left side. He's going to be taken down near the 27-yard line. No gain on the play. Sonny, are you surprised the Lions start off short field? They decide to hand the ball off and try to establish that run game early.
Well, I think I talked about it a little bit in the pregame. I think you're going to see some things you don't expect to see. I think Detroit's looking to mix it up slightly. I think that's part of their plan right there.
Now 2nd and 10, Aaron Rodgers under center, 2 wide receivers over the left side, 1 over to the right. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers dropping back to pass on 2nd down, waiting, looking, looks underneath. He finds Tank Beekman, but he can't hold on to the ball as he is hit immediately and drops it. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, and while it's a disastrous start, Sonny, for the Cleveland Browns with that fumble on the opening kickoff, holding Detroit to a 3-and-out into 3 points would be a huge boost to this defense.
Yeah, 3-and-out would be a big deal here for Cleveland. So if I'm Detroit, you know, I'm thinking something in that 15, 20-yard intermediate route. That's really where they shine. Aaron Rodgers especially likes to find Beckham here.
3rd and 10. It's a play action on the counter. It's Aaron Rodgers rolling out to the left side, waiting, looking. He doesn't have anybody open. He's going to take off. What a block throw downfield, and he's going to pick up the 1st down, showing off the wheels. They might be flat tires, Sonny, but he found a way to pick up a 1st down. What a job downfield blocking to make sure Rodgers hit the line.
So it's really funny. We were actually talking about this before the broadcast. We saw the Detroit Lions practicing, and we saw a little bit of that from Aaron Rodgers in practice, rolling to the left side, looking downfield, and then taking off if nothing's there. I think you're going to see a little bit more mobile Aaron Rodgers tonight.
1st and 10, I formation. Beckham out to the left. Montgomery out to the right, returning from injury. It's a 1st and 10. It's a quick throw underneath to the tight end. Kalen Cooper shakes off a tackle. He'll go out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And, Sonny, we talk about Bomber and these very speedy wide receivers, Montgomery and Beckham, but the tight ends, Cooper and Kelsey, the double K, vitamin K, these are 2 of the best receiving tight ends in the NBL.
Kalen Cooper may be the best player nobody in the league knows about. Did you know Kalen Cooper is a 99 overall? Nobody does. Of course you did. But the guy, all he does is score, but around here, everybody talks about HB18, not Kalen Cooper.
2nd and 12. He's got 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. That's Cooper in the slot. Wilson into the game. He is their goal line specialist. Speedy back. He cuts it to the right side. He'll get the 1st down inside the 2. And, Sonny, it's interesting watching these Detroit Lions run the ball. They have Le'Veon Bell, a very talented back, but they love going with the speedier Wilson inside the 5-yard line.
And that's interesting because you saw Wilson on that cut. When he went to make the cut, the ball came away from his body. I thought he was about to fumble there, but he hangs on to it. I think I like Le'Veon Bell inside the 5. I'm not a big fan of smaller backs down here.
Now 1st and goal, I formation, Le'Veon Bell, we just spoke about him. He's at the top of that I in that 3 tight end set. It's going to be handoff to Bell, trying to find some room on the right side, but a great job up front by the Cleveland Browns. And Sonny, this Cleveland Browns front 4, especially with Spates on one side, with Myles Garrett on the other side, they are a tough task to run against and even tougher in the passing game.
You know, if there's one weakness we've seen from Detroit over the years, it's been their ability to score in the red zone at times. They've had issues where they just can't punch it in here from inside the 10.
2nd and goal, I formation. Once again, 3 tight ends, 2 to the right side, 1 over to the left. Le'Veon Bell at the top of that I. A lot of guys in the box for the Cleveland Browns looking to stop this rushing attack. 2 yards out from pay dirt. Oh, and a mistake by the Lions. It's going to back him up 5 yards, but Sonny, that might be a blessing for this Lions team that likes to air it out, give them a little more room to develop a play.
Yeah, if I'm Detroit, I think I try to get a false start inside the 5-yard line every time. Because like I mentioned, the red zone offense of Detroit, especially inside that 5-7 yard range, has really been an issue for them over the years. So backing up a little bit, giving them a little more room, yeah, I'll take that if I'm Detroit.
Now 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. Looks like they're setting a screen pass to Le'Veon Bell, but it is well contained by the Cleveland Browns. What discipline. And something we noted yesterday in the AFC Championship game, that this Cleveland Browns team is one of the most sure tackling defenses we have seen. You won't see too many missed tackles from this Cleveland Browns defense.
You really get a good kind of look at what defensive play should be when Cleveland's on the field. They basically cover the guys and they don't give up big plays. They're very gap sound.
Now 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. I formation. Wilson at the top of that I. Looks like they're going to hand it off on 3rd down. He's got a little bit of room, but a nice contain there on the outside. Only going to pick up a yard. And so it wasn't quite the 3-and-out, Sonny, but the Cleveland Brown defense stands tall, forces Detroit in a field goal attempt from the 8-yard line. This one from the left hash mark. It is up. It is good. 3-0 your score, but considering how it started, you got to feel pretty good if you're a Browns fan.
Well, you're feeling good, but if you're Detroit, I think you got to take a little bit more of a chance there. They're really not putting the ball down the field. And, you know, I like Kalen Cooper in those situations, a little jump ball down the seam. I get it. You know, Cleveland's seen that before, but you got to go to what works there, and I think that's what works for Detroit in the red zone.
Well, the Cleveland Browns returning this one, and lip hallelujah, they hold on to the ball, and we're actually going to get to see Joe Watson and the offense come out on the field. He got hurt in that AFC Championship game. We saw Jared Goff play the rest of the game, but according to the Browns coaching staff, Joe Watson is healthy and ready to play, and that is huge for the Browns offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe Watson came in last year, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, 28 picks, and the I was watching the run
Tevin
there.
Coleman, yeah, he got around the outside there. Nice job downfield. It is tough to bring down Tevin Coleman by those cornerbacks.
Absolutely. Now, the big thing is, look at Tevin Coleman. Over 1,000 yards, 14 rushing touchdowns. But then they also have C.J. Anderson at 500 yards and 10 touchdowns. These are just incredible running backs right now, and they're just so old. I can't believe it. But Cleveland's found a way to make them successful.
Quick throw underneath on first down. He's going to pick up 10 yards just shy of the first down marker. That is Bartu. And we talked about the two tight ends for the Lions, Cooper and, of course, Travis Kelce. But they've got Bartu and Njoku on the side of the Cleveland Browns. They love using their tight ends, especially up the seams.
Yeah, Njoku's another great receiver. Over 600 yards every season this cycle. Just an impressive tight end. And we saw him in the AFC Championship making many catches in traffic.
Was that a house that just tackled Tevin Coleman in the middle? I think that was a mobile home. Oh, that's Gianni Slade. He's weighing in, I think, north of 1,200 pounds this year. 3rd and 2 now for the Cleveland Browns. Big opportunity for the Lions to get off the field defensively. It is an I formation. 2 wide receivers. Demanch out to the left. Corey Coleman out to the right. He's got Tevin Coleman in the backfield here on 3rd and 2. Watson under center, dropping back. He's going to hand the ball off to Tevin Coleman. Coleman's not going to pick up the first down. He's going to be brought down short of the 44-yard line. And boy, that was just a bad run by Coleman. He saw the blitzer coming up the left side lip, and instead of cutting right and trying to pick up the first down, he tried to go through him, ended up getting stopped short of the line.
Yeah, and he had a lineman pulling through that hole that, whether he got the guy or not, he would have just been able to follow him enough to pick up the first down. He didn't do any of that, and now Cleveland has to punt to the dangerous offense of the Detroit Lions.
And, Sonny, now the Lions starting at the 20-yard line, their own 20-yard line this time, and if you're a Lions fan, if you're a Lions, part of the Lions coaching staff, you would much rather be down here. They work much better when they have room to work, especially with that passing attack with HB18.
Yeah, they need space to use speed, and that's the problem when they get in the red zone. Now that they've got all this green grass in front of them, look for them to move Harvey Beckham around. Don't forget, we talked about it in the pregame, Montgomery is back from injury, so they got 2 very deadly weapons out there right now.
1st and 10 for the Detroit Lions. Aaron Rodgers dropping back to pass on 1st and 10, looking underneath, completes it to Montgomery. He's got some room. Going to pick up the first down at 33-yard line. Boy, a typo in the chat. I thought it was hilarious, and then he corrected it. Shutson Gray 634 says, I'm going for the Lions because they are in the NFL like my 49ers. Corrected to say the NFC, but Sonny, I think that was a dig at the Cleveland Browns, who in real life barely look like an NFL team.
Yeah, I like it. Don't update that Shuts Stingray.
It might be Stingray. I went with Shuts in Gray because I know how to read tags. But then again, I thought Cringe's name was X Cringe for like literally 9 months. I didn't know what his name was, so ignore me. But I thought it was hilarious, a hilarious dig. As the Cleveland Browns can give up 5 yards on that encroachment, getting a little antsy on the line. We saw the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game give up a ton of yards on penalties, getting too aggressive on the defensive line. If you're Cleveland, you've got to stay disciplined against this Lions offense. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. For Aaron Rodgers under center, play action passes. He rolls out to the left side, waiting. He's got all sorts of time. He's got all sorts of room on the left side, but he's going to wait for Harvey Beckham, and he fits it in there. What a throw from Rodgers to the 41-yard line. Boy, he could have run that, Sonny. He could have had a lot of yards, but instead he waited for all reliable HB18 across the field.
Yeah, Garrett got sucked down to the inside. He was sealed off, and really Aaron Rodgers, if he goes left there, I think he's running 30, 40 yards downfield.
1st and 10, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Aaron Rodgers. Once again, he's got Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. Cleveland Browns showing some press coverage on the outside. He's going to drop back to pass on 1st and 10, only a 4-man rush, but it's Caitlin Cooper underneath, complete. Juke move, tries to get around the defender. He'll be taken down at the 31-yard line. Give him another first down. This Lions offense, Sonny, this is what they do. All of a sudden, they're at the 31-yard line in 2 plays.
And yeah, they're explosive, but here's the thing. They're starting to creep into that red zone, so they better score here soon before they get too deep.
1st and 10 for the Lions. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. He's got Le'Veon Bell in the backfield on 1st and 10 as we're nearing the end of the first quarter. On 1st down, it's going to hand off to Bell over the right side. Got a little bit of room, going to pick up a couple on the play. Give him 4 as we'll get to the end of the first quarter, into the second quarter. 3-0 your score. Lions driving, though. Sonny, how important is it for the Cleveland Browns to get a stop and force another field goal from this Lions offense?
Well, it'd be a big deal, especially because their offense has had the ball a total of 3 plays, I believe. So you're feeling pretty good if you come away in the first quarter only being down 6 and only have had the ball for 3 plays there in the whole first quarter.
Now it's 2nd and 7 for the Detroit Lions. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Beckham split out to left. Montgomery split out to the right. Bell in the backfield. Montgomery coming in motion on 2nd down. Rodgers drops back on 2nd and 7. Waiting, looking. Finds Montgomery. Takes a big hit, but holds onto the ball. And more importantly, gets a first down inside the red zone down to the 19-yard line. Just seems like no matter where you guard him, Sonny, whether it's underneath, whether it's over the top, Aaron Rodgers is going to find a way to pick up the first down.
Yeah, it's a lot of kind of driving underneath routes right now, opening it up. You're seeing Cleveland bunch up around underneath, and really what that is Cleveland daring them at this point. And if I'm Detroit, I'm going to take that shot here at some point. You're a little deep in now to do it, but watch for it later in the game.
1st and 10 for Aaron Rodgers and the Detroit Lions. 2 wide receivers over the left side. It's going to be a toss play to Tywan Wilson over the left side. Takes a big hit. He'll be taken down to the 14-yard line. Shout out to the assistant network director on Isolated, pointing out that Bomber was in the chat. Bomber, get out of here. Play your game. Stop showing disrespect to these Cleveland Browns.
Nah, keep showing disrespect to these Cleveland Browns. It's okay.
Lip, where are you on the disrespect? Are you okay with the disrespect?
Yeah, I'm out on that. I think just play the game.
All right, well, split down the middle here on the NBL Network. 2nd and 6 for the Cleveland Browns. Looks like a little counterplay for Le'Veon Bell. Tries to cut it back inside, and that was some top-notch tackle animations right there, folks, as Pitts with the tackle in the middle. Now big 3rd and 6. Sonny, you got to expect the Cleveland Browns going to be playing the flats hard, making Aaron Rodgers throw a nice throw, an accurate throw over the top.
Yeah, and I think what I'm doing right here, I'm running dual seams here down the middle of the field, and I'm waiting to see which way the user goes and take the tight end that's open.
3rd and 6. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. It's Aaron Rodgers dropping back to pass on 3rd down, waiting, looking, and we're going to have our first sack of the ball game as London Spate comes around the right side and brings down Aaron Rodgers. Sonny, that's the first sack of the game, but surely it won't be the last sack as these 2 defensive ends in Spate and Garrett get after the quarterback. A huge sack to force the Lions into a field goal, making this a 6-0 game.
And honestly, I've been pretty impressed by the Detroit Lions offensive line so far. They've done a good job, especially sealing the ends when Rodgers starts getting out on the edge. And that's why I said I would look for that throughout the night, because the one thing they've done well is seal them off and giving Rodgers area on the edge. So maybe some more boot action the rest of this game.
Cleveland Browns going to return this up to the 25-yard line, and that's where we get to see this offense come back out with Joe Watson and Tevin Coleman. We saw them go 3 and out. Coleman unable to convert a 3rd and short, and at this point we've got breaking the huddle. It's going to be an I formation coming out of the huddle. Joe Watson under center, Tevin Coleman top of that I. 2 wide receivers, Dimension to the left, Coleman to the right. Some play action pass for Joe Watson rolling out to the right side. He'll look underneath, complete it to the fullback down to the 35-yard line. As it looks like the fullback just stayed down on that play. Give him 9 yards. How important is it for them to establish some sort of passing attack to soften up this heavy box the Detroit Lions are showing?
Yeah, it's big. Watson needs to get into a rhythm. He needs to be able to get that run game going, open up the pass, and that throw to the tight end right there starts it all off.
And Tevin Coleman picking up the first down, doing what he didn't do on the first drive, Lip. He fell forward, picked up 4, and converted a 2nd and short, giving the Browns a new set of downs and a big opportunity here, a touchdown. They have the lead after fumbling the opening kickoff and going 3 and out on their first offensive drive.
Yeah, that's what's so important about this defense. They allow 14 points a game. Holding the Detroit Lions to just 2 field goals on the first 2 drives is huge.
And Joe Watson dropping back on 1st and 10, looks underneath, he completes it. All the way up, he's going to get a first down at the 48-yard line. Nice job by Joe Watson, as it looked like Treader, the center, with that dislocated shoulder. 11 yards for Reeves on the play, but that could be a big loss on the offensive line. The center, sort of the general that helps this rushing attack get going.
Yeah, and that's big in the run game, especially because you've got Slade on the other side of the football. That's going to be a big monster to try to contain for the backup there for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, 1st and 10, Joe Watson under center. He's going to hand it off to Tevin Coleman on the right side. Look at him patiently run through his blockers, run through defenders, and pick up a first down to the 41-yard line. Tevin Coleman showing off the balance and the strength to pick up the first down. There was no hole there, Lip. He made his own movement and was able to get into enemy territory.
Yeah, Coleman at 30 years old, over 1,000 yards, 14 rushing touchdowns. It is unbelievable what this offensive line allows these running backs to do. And then whenever they have the space, Coleman powers through for more yards and a first down. Pretty unbelievable there from this aging backfield.
And Joe Watson dropped back on 1st and 10, 3 wide set. He completes it underneath to Corey Coleman. He's got some room up the field, just shy of the 20 to the 23-yard line. Watson starting off 4 for 4. Lip, this is what the Browns love to do. They work it underneath, get Watson into the rhythm, and before you know it, they're going to look for a shot over the top with Zach Demange.
Yeah, and you would think DeManch would be their #1 target. It actually was Coleman with 61 receptions, 1,064 yards, 30 more than DeManch. Very underrated target there in Cleveland.
Big shout out to 50 Shades K. Matt with the subscription with his Twitch Prime. You are entered into our giveaway of that Michael Jordan signed USA jersey during our 12-hour stream of the EA Access Tournament. More information later on that one. This one, it's easy, but it's fumbled. It's picked up by the Lions. A second fumble of the game. The second turnover for the Cleveland Browns. A big hit in the secondary. Gerard Davis picking up the fumble. Lip disastrous once again. Ball security on the Cleveland Browns. Clearly not a priority.
Yeah, but we saw this in the AFC Championship. They were taking huge hits, holding onto the balls all night. Tonight, they just can't get it together. They're just coughing the ball up too much, and that's not what you can do against the Lions.
Oh, but he's going to give it right back on the PAFK quick. It's going the other way. Sonny, where was that read from Aaron Rodgers? Tremont Pierce was standing in the middle of that zone. Was not open the entire time, and Aaron Rodgers decided to give him a gift. Santa Rodgers on the other side.
Yeah, Pierce really should have been on the halfback there, but when the halfback stayed in the block, he just kind of sat down there and waited to get the ball thrown to him.
Now 1st and 10, Joe Watson rolling out to the right side, waiting, looks underneath, completes to David Njoku, who takes a big hit but holds on to the ball. Boy, no fault of Joe Watson here, Lib. He is doing everything he can. It is his receivers and his special teams that has been a little loose with the football, and Njoku picks up 8 on that play.
Yeah, you see this defense kind of playing back, trying to take away the deeper stuff to DeManch and Coleman. He's content all day to take the fullbacks and the tight ends in the flat, let them pick up yardage. Now they're in a 2nd and 2 situation.
And 2nd and 2 is going to be handoff to
Look at that.
Again,
Did
it
you
looks
see
like
that brick wall pop up?
No, that is no brick wall. That's Gianni Slade, actually. That's a human being. I don't know if you knew that. What a play in the middle. Again, backup center in, and he has to deal with one of the largest human beings I've ever seen. I've seen lots of large human beings. I hang out at Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah, me too. I can't believe that, but I mean, now looking at Slade, absolutely, that's what he does, and with that backup center, it's going to be a big problem for Cleveland.
3rd and 1, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, Coleman coming in motion, 3 Watson dropping back to pass. Oh my God, look at Gianni Slade in coverage, and Watson misses the open receiver underneath. That was Corey Coleman, but I'm sorry, that might be one of the funniest things I've ever seen, watching Gianni Slade showing off that what is that, the 3-cone shuttle, shuffling back into coverage, trying to play as that middle zone, and it ended up working a little bit because Joe Watson, a little anxious underneath. I think he just got a little too excited he was open.
Yeah, he saw the guy coming underneath. He was going to hit him very quick, and then Gianni Slade was dancing with the stars in the middle of the field. Made him wait just a second, and then he had to throw it. Uncomfortable, didn't look real, didn't look on his feet very well, and just made a wild throw, and there we go. That's defense again forcing a field goal, and we've seen it 3 times now in this game, and we're under the 2-minute warning in the 2nd quarter. It is unbelievable how quick this game is moving and how little points there are on the board.
Yeah, I believe both of you guys predicting 60-plus combined points. We're at 9 right now, so a low-scoring affair here in the Season 32 Super Bowl, the final game of the Madden 18 cycle. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm OSU, your NBL Network Director. I'm hanging out with Lip and Sonny in the booth. 1st and 10 for the Detroit Lions. It's Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. Le'Veon Bell to his left. Montgomery coming in motion on 1st and 10. It's a handoff to Le'Veon Bell. Tries to cut it up the middle, and boy, Sonny, this Cleveland Browns defense is doing a great job of containing Le'Veon Bell and Tywan Wilson, not letting them get anything on the ground.
Yeah, running really just has not been there tonight, but at least Detroit's committing to it, trying to keep Cleveland honest. At some point, that play action is going to open up. And again, I think Aaron Rodgers' feet are the unaccounted X factor that really Detroit needs to be using.
Detroit's going to use a timeout here with 1:32 to go. Didn't like what they saw from their offense. They broke the huddle. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. And Sonny, what sort of recovery do you expect from Aaron Rodgers after throwing really a completely unexcused interception on the last drive?
Well, really, when you look at Tremont Pierce in the middle of the field, he is a dangerous guy to kind of throw around. I'd be working the edges a little bit more going forward.
And Rodgers dropping back to pass on 2nd and 10 on the play action, rolls out to the right side. He has a man deep down the field. Will the safety get there in time? Nope. But Beckham drops it.
Wow.
Oh, my. A sure-handed wide receiver. That deep cross, such a money play for HB18. And Sonny, he just didn't look it into the old mitts.
No, Rodgers got on the edge there, and he found the gap behind the cornerback and the safety coming down. And I think Beckham may have heard footsteps there.
3rd and 10 now. Huge opportunity for the Browns to get off the field. Bunch formation, 3 to the right. Harvey Beckham alone on the left side. Taiwan Wilson to the left of Aaron Rodgers. He drops back to pass on 3rd and 10. Waiting, looking. He's got a lot of time. He looks over to the right side. He throws it into coverage. It's picked up by the Browns, and they're returning it all the way up to the 37-yard line. Xavier Rhodes with the pick. Another inexcusable throw, Sonny, from Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't open at any point, and Cleveland will take another present from Santa Rodgers.
You know, I feel like we've seen this this movie before. I feel like, you know, this is starting to look a lot like last year's Super Bowl, and that Aaron Rodgers, when he starts getting flustered, when things aren't there, he starts just chucking it at the Browns players, and that is not good for Detroit fans.
1st and 10 for Joe Watson, and the Browns an opportunity to tie the game up here. Under a minute 15 to go. Throws it over to the left side. Oh, Whitworth almost jumped that one. Oh, almost disastrous. They almost turned the ball back over. But Lip, you look at plays. We look back on plays that might have changed the game. That interception was big, but even looking back now, that drop by Harvey Beckham, a huge play considering the interception on the second play.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable because HB18 does not drop passes, especially ones like that are big in the game. And we're definitely going to be looking at that if the Lions are not able to win this game.
Quick throw to the flat. It is complete. Joe Watson gets him up to the 29-yard line. Minute 4 and counting. Lip, do you ponder if you're the Detroit Lions calling a timeout to get your offense back on the field?
I don't, just because the Detroit Lions offense is so explosive. They don't need a lot of time. The 2 timeouts are going to be much more useful than the time, in my opinion, just because of how quick they can strike.
3rd and 2, shotgun formation for Watson, 3 wide receivers. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. Oh boy, Ferguson read that the entire way. Down goes Tevin Coleman, and the Cleveland Browns will be forced to settle for a field goal. Are you surprised they went with the draw play on 3rd down, considering how good Joe Watson has been today?
I'm not. That's something that they like to run in those situations. They're very good at it. It was just an incredible read by the defensive play. You could see right from the start, the halfback was standing there waiting. Watson had a low snap. You kind of see those things happen on draw plays. Too excited to get the exchange going, and that's just kind of what happens. And now, like I said, 40 seconds, 1 timeout. That is an eternity for the Detroit Lions offense.
Just want to remind everybody that we have our EA Access tournament coming up August 2nd through the 5th. Free to enter, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. It is on the Xbox, completely free. We're giving out $1,000 worth of prizes, over $1,000 worth of prizes to the entrants in that tournament. We also have a subscriber-only giveaway, which we will let you know about after this play. 1st and 10, Aaron Rodgers under center. He's going to hand it off to Taiwan Wilson. He's got some room on the right side. He's got the 1st down and more. Juke move, and now he's in open space, and this is where it's trouble. He's down to the 20, and he's going to be taken down inside the 20 to 17-yard line. Oh boy, timeout taken by the Lions. Sonny, a gift given up by the Browns defense. A huge run from Taiwan Wilson.
And we just talked about it on the last drive, the Detroit Lions' commitment to running the ball. Nothing was happening, but it kept Cleveland honest, and finally they break one, and that's a big turn of events here for Detroit, trying to score heading into half.
1st and 10 for the Lions. They've got 2 wide receivers, one over to the left, one over to the right side. 2 tight ends on the left side of that formation. On 1st down, it's a handoff to Le'Veon Bell, cuts it up the middle. He'll be taken down at the 17-yard line. Clock running. Got to think maybe one more play to run here for Aaron Rodgers and the Detroit Lions offense. Sonny's big one, just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, that run right there seems like it's Detroit just saying we're cool with setting up for a field goal here and trying to get into half without turning the ball over.
2nd and 10, Bell in the backfield, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers again. 13 seconds and counting. Boy, there's not a lot of time left. 10 seconds.
They don't have time to run the ball here.
Play action. Rodgers rolls out to the left side, rolls out and chucks this one out of bounds. And that one just turned into, they looked up at the clock, Sonny, saw the clock was running down. There was no time with no timeouts to do any sort of play. He chucks it out of bounds and makes sure they get their 3 points.
The clock management there just was kind of weird. They ran the ball, then they took a long time to pick a play and come back out with another run, but audible to a pass, mainly just to stop the clock because they're out of timeouts. Really just strange turn of events there.
But they do get their 3 points. A big run from Taiwan Wilson sets up the field goal. 9-6 your score. 1 second remaining. They're just going to squib this one and get to halftime with a 3-point lead. It's been an ugly first half. 2 turnovers each way. 2 fumbles from the Browns. 2 Aaron Rodgers interceptions from the Detroit Lions. Will hit halftime. Now that subscriber giveaway I keep trying to talk about, but we end up getting interrupted by those big plays on offense. There it is. Michael Jordan jersey giveaway to our subscribers here on the NBL Network. If you have Amazon Prime, it is a free subscription every 30 days to one channel, or it's $4.99 to subscribe.
baby.
If you do subscribe, you'll be entered as Tryhard Guy. Just got gifted a Sclamscriber giveaway from Colonel Sanders 94. We'll give away that Michael Jordan jersey to our subscribers only here on the 12-hour stream on August 2nd. You don't want to miss out on that one. It's a signed Michael Jordan jersey, certificate of authenticity, that Team USA gold jersey. Don't miss out on that one. Hit that subscribe button if you want to be a part of it here on the NBL Network. First play of the second half, it's Aaron Rodgers. He looks underneath to the tight end. Kalen Cooper makes a big catch at the 30-yard line, holds on through the contact. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5. Sonny, what sort of adjustments are you looking for from the Detroit Lions coming out of halftime?
Well, I think they got to go deep more. You just saw right there the Cooper's second catch of the day. Aaron Rodgers only has 7 completions on the day for 65 yards. Very un-Aaron Rodgers-like, very un-Detroit Lions-like.
On 2nd and 5, play action pass for Aaron Rodgers. He rolls out to the right side, waiting, looking, throws another pick. Boy, that one, great read defensively. He's got some room up the left side. He's in the 25 to the 20. Harvey Beckham coming back to make the tackle. 3rd pick from Aaron Rodgers. The 2nd one taken by Tremont Pierce. And another one, Sonny, that looked like it was really not a great read at any point on that drive.
Well, Aaron Rodgers just isn't lofting the ball enough up over these linebackers. The gap was there. He just kind of tried to bullet it past them, and that's not happening with this linebacking group.
1st and 10, 3 wide receivers out there for Joe Watson. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Waiting, rolls out to the left side. He's got some room. He's going to take off. He makes Hudson miss. He's going to get all the way to the end zone. 18 yards to the house. Oh, lip. Joe Watson looking like Michael Vick right out there with the shifty feet, making a man miss and finding the end zone.
Watson might be the most exciting player that is not in the headlines as much. He's not really talked about like all these other guys, like HB18 and Aaron Rodgers and all this other stuff. He's talked about as a guy, like, can he manage the game, and can he just not make enough mistakes to put him in a good position? But I mean, right there, the guy is not afraid to take the ball in his hands and make some plays. We saw Aaron Rodgers do it, but it's just unbelievable right there. Watson is not real. Their offense isn't really on the field a whole lot this game so far, and he makes the absolute most of it.
What a play by the Cleveland Browns, turning that interception into a touchdown. Sonny, the first touchdown of this game. 2 high-powered offenses. That's the first time they've been able to find pay dirt.
Yeah, it's man, this game has not kind of gone the way we thought it was going to go. I don't think. Very defensive driven.
Yeah, a rematch of the season 31 Super Bowl. Cleveland came out on top on this one. They're up now as Aaron Rodgers on 1st and 10 looks underneath, completes it to Kendrick Montgomery to the 35-yard line. Sonny, Rodgers throws 3 interceptions today, but it is huge for them to get Kendrick Montgomery back. He is a volatile weapon on the other side of HB18.
Yeah, and again, the underneath stuff, Harvey Beckham running the out route there, it was covered. I think that's where Rodgers wanted to go with that route, and it's still that 15 to 20-yard down range stuff has just not been there, and that really is the Detroit Lions' bread and butter.
Well, they're going to empty out the backfield here for Aaron Rodgers, who drops back on 2nd and inches. He's going to take a sack as London Spade's 2nd sack of the day. Right up the middle, they moved him inside, and he insta-shed right in the middle of that offensive line and brings down Rodgers for a huge sack on 2nd down.
And that's a problem. Now you got Detroit in this long down and distance. The outward breaking stuff they got to really be careful about, because that's where they've thrown a lot of interceptions today. We'll see what they come up with here coming up on this 3rd and 8.
Empty backfield once again for Aaron Rodgers. 3rd and 8 from the 27-yard line. Rodgers dropping back, 3-man rush from the Cleveland Browns. Waiting. He gets rid of it. He's taking a deep shot down the left side, looking for HB18, and he overthrows everybody. And Detroit is going to be forced to punt the ball away. And Sonny, this Lions team, who has looked so good all season long, seems like the Cleveland Browns are the kryptonite as their offense can't get anything going.
Yeah, number 26 of Cleveland looked like he had a step on the receiver there. And oh wait, that wasn't to Cleveland.
Oh no, okay. No. Cleveland was on defense on that one. I know it was confusing from that throw.
Yeah, that looked like he was throwing to the Cleveland Browns safety there.
Well, a nice return there. Cleveland's going to start on the 40-yard line. Lip, I saw something interesting in the chat from Fellow Blitz. He says, please, we have to consider Joe Watson in the top 25 list. I know he only played 2 seasons, but he's worth the consideration. Do you agree?
Hey, absolutely. If this man wins 2 Super Bowls his rookie year and his sophomore year, he's got to be one of the best players in a NBL Players Hall of Fame member. You can't deny it. You can look at the stats, and he went from an 87 QBR to a 115 QBR. That growth is great. But the 2 Super Bowls are just unbelievable. Now, we're a long way from there. We have almost a half of football to play against a great Detroit Lions team. So we have a long way to go before we can start that conversation. But, yeah, to answer the question, absolutely. If they can get his title tonight, Watson's got to be in.
Big sack on first down, dropping Cleveland into a 2nd and 18. 3-man rush from the Lions as Watson looks underneath. He completes it. Kinchin with the tackle, though, at the 39-yard line. Giving up 8 yards on that play. Going to drop him back to a 3rd and 11. And the Browns have done a great job today of sticking in those 2nd and 3rd and manageables. This is going to be the first time they have some adversity on 3rd down.
Yeah, and this is where Watson's got to step up and shine. We don't talk about it a whole lot. We don't get to see it enough. So right here, 3rd and 11, you've got a 4-point lead against the Detroit Lions. Go and get it.
And Watson dropping back on 3rd and 11. Waiting, looking. He's got 3-man rush. And the Lions finally get free. He's going to have to chuck this out of bounds. And the Lions defense standing tall, getting a big 3 and out. And going to get the ball back to Aaron Rodgers to maybe get something going offensively. Big shout out to Pete Radio 1 in the chat saying great commentary. Appreciate the love from everybody hanging out in the chat here on NBL Live Broadcast 232. The season 32 Super Bowl, the last game of Madden 18. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with Lip and Sonny today to crown a champion, the final champion of the Madden 18 cycle. The Lions coming back out on offense. Sonny, the question that I think everybody is looking for is, where has Aaron Rodgers and this offense gone?
Well, that's a good question. I think we've seen Cleveland do this to him before. They really take everything away from 20 yards in. And really what you need right now is Harvey Beckham over the top to try to really change the way this game's going.
Rodgers looking underneath. He completes it to Tank Beekman. He's got a first down up past the 30 to the 33-yard line. 9 of 16, 90 yards and 3 interceptions in this game. A very un-Aaron Rodgers-like stat line, but Sonny, the scary part is that's a very Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl-like stat line.
Exactly. And so Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl, we've seen it last year, we're seeing it again, just seems to kind of crack under the pressure of the bright lights.
1st and 10 for Rodgers and the Lions. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. As Montgomery coming in motion on first down, it's Aaron Rodgers dropping back to pass. Waiting, looking, he looks underneath. He finds Montgomery once again. Has a first down up past the 48-yard line. When will the Cleveland Browns maybe start to key in on these underneath routes, Sonny? Or is it just a matter of fact where they're going to let them take their 10-yard throws and not let Harvey Beckham beat them over the top?
That's exactly what they're doing. They're going to make HB18 kind of work underneath. They're not giving them the over-top stuff. And so you're going to get Beekman and Montgomery coming around underneath, and that's okay. Cleveland figuring out that, let them kind of walk down the field, but they're not going to score touchdowns.
Play action pass for Aaron Rodgers. Takes a big hit. He finds the tight end Terry underneath. Boy, that guy looks like Gianni Slade's brother out there. Yeah, it looks like Gianni Slade's brother out there. If Gianni Slade is an RV, that one definitely is at least a Toyota Prius. He picks up 9, going to bring up a 2nd and 1.
Toyota Prius, that good
silent but deadly.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Lions do here on 2nd and 1. And while we got a second here in the 3rd quarter, got to give a big shout out to our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do the overlays and graphics for the NBL Live and all the NBL Network shows. Hit them up at Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. You'll get 15% off your entire graphics order. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. As Tywan Wilson takes the carry right up the middle, picks up the first down. Sonny, that looked more like what would have been a Le'Veon Bell run, but they had the smaller Tywan Wilson into the game, and he gets the job done.
Well, so far, Wilson's been the only one to really get anything going. He had the big run right before half, and so I think, they're figuring out the speed is what they got to get. Just surprising with as much money as they're paying Le'Veon Bell that here, in the biggest game of the year, he's sitting on the bench.
Now a 1st and 10 for Aaron Rodgers in the offense. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Waiting. He is being pursued. Looks to the C route for Harvey Beckham, but the pressure getting to Aaron Rodgers, and we're finally seeing, Sonny, that defensive line, the vaunted defensive line of the Cleveland Browns, making Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable. I'm surprised you haven't seen old Z-Star switch to more of a conservative pass rush to contain Aaron Rodgers in the pocket.
Well, I think what they're liking right now is they're getting interior pressure right now on this Detroit Lions offensive line. It's really driving Aaron Rodgers nuts as he's got to move out of the pocket.
Big shout out to Sim Football Critic joining us in the chat, one of the big friends of the NBL Network. Sim, hope life is treating you well as Aaron Rodgers pursued on that play. The blitz gets to him. He has to chuck it out of bounds, and now a drive that looks so promising. Well, now we're looking at a 3rd and 10, and this Browns defense is eating against this offensive line.
It really has kind of changed over. I felt like in the first half, Detroit's offensive line was doing an admirable job, but here in the second half, Aaron Rodgers has been running for his life the whole time.
Play action pass. Rodgers dropping back. 3-man rush from the Cleveland Browns. Waiting. Rodgers trying to take off, but he's going to be taken down. A sack. Myles Garrett's first sack of the day, and that's going to keep the Detroit Lions maybe out of field goal range. It'd be a 59-yard attempt from here. Let's see. It looks like they're going to send out the field goal unit, but back-to-back plays where the defensive line of the Cleveland Browns getting in the backfield. As this one looks tight. I don't know if they can make this one. Nope, they're going to take a timeout and have to punt it away. And a big stop from the Cleveland Browns, Sonny. What a job defensively.
Yeah, it really is a rough go here for Detroit as they're not finding anything in the second half. The underneath seems to be the only thing working here. And so if you're Detroit, the big thing is you're down in distance. You can't get sacked. You can't give up negative plays because you're not getting anything more than 5-10 yards downfield.
Allen punting this one away on 4th and 11. It looks like it's going to go into the end zone, so it's going to be a net 22-yard punt. The Browns offense going to start on the 20-yard line. And, well, a lot of people taking the Lions to start this game. And so far, the Cleveland Browns defense has done a phenomenal job against an explosive offense.
It's all about Denard Phillips, the 26-year-old corner. He's a stud. You got Casey Hayward at 33, Xavier Rhodes at 33. They're playing lights out for being 33 years old. It is unbelievable how they're suffocating the offense of the Lions that threw for, I think, 5,600 yards this season.
Well, and we saw them in the NFC Championship game. Aaron Rodgers had over 400 yards passing in that one. 2 yards on that play for Joe Watson. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. 3 wide receivers. 2 over to the left side. 1 over to the right. Tevin Coleman to the left of Joe Watson. He drops back to pass on 2nd and 8. Steps up. Looks over the middle. It's picked off. The user in the middle. Benjamin with the pick. A big play for the Browns. For the Detroit Lions defense as they'll return this to the 25-yard line. It was a throw. The first mistake from Joe Watson and a great pick in the middle by one of the best users in the Commissioner Bomber.
Yeah, that's a tough timing decision to make. You know the linebacker's there. You're going to try to float it, but just could not get enough air under it. Linebacker there was full extension up in the air, just not quite enough from Watson to complete the pass.
Shout out to Abel with the subscription, but on the first play, it's Darius, the delayed blitz, getting in the backfield and bringing down Aaron Rodgers. Sonny, that is now 4 straight plays we have seen this defensive line of the Cleveland Browns get in Aaron Rodgers, 2 of them for sacks.
Well, we just talked about, it can't be giving up negative plays. The down and distance is all off, and so now you're looking at a long 2nd and 18, and that has been a problem here for Aaron Rodgers all night.
2nd and 18, Rodgers dropping back, 3-man rush from the Browns. They're going to get pressure again. Down goes Rodgers. Big hit by Darius on back-to-back plays. Oh, what is the interior of this Lions offensive line doing? They can't contain anything.
No, and I think now you've got to be doing boot action. Basically, you're rolling out because standing in that pocket is not doing you any favors. They're getting there with 3- and 4-man rushes. Not what you want to be doing here for Detroit.
3rd and 24. Looks like the Lions come out in the Wildcat formation. It's Wilson taking the snap here. Cox coming in motion. It's going to be Wilson keeping the ball, trying to find some room on the outside. So a couple of nice blocks to seal the edge. He'll get up to the 33-yard line. But they're only going to get a field goal here, Sonny, and man, a golden opportunity. They were on the 25-yard line after that interception. They back up 8 yards with back-to-back sacks, and now having to settle for a field goal. The kick is up, and it is good. It's back to a 1-point game, but boy, the Detroit Lions offense certainly not looking like the #1 offense in the NBL tonight.
No, and it's very reminiscent of what we saw just 1 year ago. Detroit struggles with this defense. I don't know what it is, if it's the pre-snap motion you see from Cleveland or just the matchups in general, but it seems like Detroit never can get a rhythm here playing the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, last year, we saw a ton of turnovers from the Detroit Lions. We're seeing turnovers today, but it seems like the bigger problem for the Lions, they just can't contain this pass rush, and Aaron Rodgers has no time in the pocket.
Yeah, and one of those turnovers, I think that there was a little bit of miscommunication there. You see, I think it was HB going into a wide open hole, and instead of continue to going up there, Rodgers throws it short. HB comes back to the ball. You're not really sure what happened there, but that just plays into the interceptions that you can't have and why the Lions are in this position.
Well, look at that agility from the house himself, Gianni Slade, diving for Tevin Coleman, bringing him down for no gain. This is a guy who Bomber's been very critical of. Disappears. He gets injured a lot. Today, he might be the best defensive player out there.
Yeah, absolutely. The coverage him playing zone coverage was amazing to see. It was a huge play.
And Joe Watson's going to take a sack on second down. Ball's out, and it's picked up by the Lions. Scoop powers into the end zone. We'll wonder if this one will get reviewed, but a big play as it stands as the Lions defense creating points and stripping the ball free of Joe Watson, but it is overturned. I thought it was going to be close lip, and it ends up.
Watson was hurt. I think that's huge.
Well, we won't know.
There was an injury, and Watson was not getting up to chase after that defensive player.
Well, it gets overturned. It was a late fumble. We don't know about if it was Joe Watson because they're coming out in the Wildcat, giving the Lions a little taste of their own medicine. As it's going to be taken over the left side, and, well, Kinchin wasn't fooled by anything. C.J. Anderson taken down. Joe Watson, dislocated knee. It's the Jared Goff show in Cleveland now. We saw him in the AFC Championship game, Lip. Gets a little bigger today with a Super Bowl on the line.
Yeah, and they're not going to be able to just completely ignore the offense and let their defense run through the Chiefs, run through the Lions like they did with the Chiefs. They're going to have to come out and play offense, and it's going to start with Goff. Not so sure how this is going to go.
Big special teams play as the Lions can get good field position on the 47-yard line. And, Sonny, I'd say that's great for the Detroit Lions, but with good field position, they haven't been able to find the end zone yet, something we haven't been able to say about the Detroit Lions a whole lot this year.
Not something you normally see. You normally see HB18 and crew running all around. It just hasn't happened. The deep coverage is just not letting HB18 or Montgomery, for that matter, get over top. And that's really been the bread and butter here for Detroit. Aaron Rodgers to HB18 getting deep.
Handoff up the middle to Le'Veon Bell. Pause on that one as Bell finds a little bit of room, 2 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. This Lions offense, Sonny, it just is stagnant, and they can't get any big plays. HB18 has been well contained.
Yeah, he's been a little bit of a non-factor tonight, which is definitely surprising coming into this game.
2nd and 8, shotgun formation for Aaron Rodgers. 2 wide receivers over to the left, 1 over to the right. Bell going in motion. Looks like they're setting up a little swing screen to Le'Veon Bell. The blocking is out there. He's got the first down and a little bit more up to the 35-yard line. So when downfield isn't working, Sonny, they've been able to work the underneath routes. And right there, Le'Veon Bell with a little swing screen picking up a first down to the 35-yard line.
And I feel like you can tell right now Detroit is playing for a field goal yet again. I think they're confident in their defense, especially with Jared Goff out there instead of Joe Watson.
Jiggy J-Rod saying this Star's first Super Bowl since facing me. Nope, he won the Super Bowl last year in season 31. And he's looking to go back-to-back this year as it's a handoff up the middle to Le'Veon Bell. 1 yard on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, J-Rod, how's it going? Apparently I didn't watch this last season or this season.
That's cool, whatever. 2nd and 9 for the Detroit Lions. Ball on the 34-yard line as we're nearing the 4-minute mark. In the 4th quarter, the final game of Madden 18. Montgomery coming in motion on 2nd and 9. Rodgers dropping back, setting up a little slip screen to Tywan Wilson, and the blocking is out there. Wilson has one man to beat, and he runs right into him. Looked like he might have been able to make a cut, at least try to make a move. Instead, he doesn't even pick up a first down. He's going to have to convert a 3rd and 1.
The old run right at the defender and make him jump out of the way. Did not work there, but tried and true.
Sim in the chat saying Rodgers and Bell, that's scary. Conmaster 0125 saying Cleveland has thrown this away completely at the moment. As on 3rd and 1, shotgun formation for Aaron Rodgers. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Kelsey and Cooper on the line. Beckham and Montgomery out wide. 3rd and 1 on the 26-yard line. It's a quick 3-step drop for Aaron Rodgers. He rolls out of the pocket, waiting, lobs it up. He overthrew Montgomery, and he throws a pick, the 4th one of the day. Why throw that one, Sonny? You know you have the field goal to take the lead, and instead he throws it away. What could be the seminal moment in this game?
Yeah, it's, there's something about Aaron Rodgers against these Cleveland Browns that just makes him throw a lot of interceptions.
And now Tevin Coleman going around the outside. Whitworth with the tackle at the 17-yard line. 5 yards on the play. Lip. Cleveland seems to not really want to win this game. They keep trying to throw it away, but the Lions go, no thank you. Hot potato, back to you.
They have. Goff has to have something. These coaches and coordinators, they've got to go for it. They can't play soft like they did against the Chiefs whenever Watson went out. They've got to come up with something here because they need to put points on the board.
Watson driving back to pass on 2nd and 5. Watson goes down. It's a big sack down to the 6-yard line. It was Christic with the sack. Great man coverage downfield. Is that not what you're looking for?
That's not it. That is not
what it either.
So 0 out of 10 on that play?
Yeah, absolutely. What are you doing? verticals, and it's man, and you can't recognize that and not do anything and put yourself on the 6-yard line. What is going on?
Demange coming to motion. Looks like they're setting up that orbit bubble screen to Zach Demange. He has the ball on the edge. There's nobody out there for the Lions. He's going to pick up the first down.
Oh, he's fast.
What? I mean, I don't understand. You know that it's going to be that play when Demange goes in motion, and I saw no movement from the Lions defense to get over there.
No, I saw a linebacker kind of take a step that way, was staying, on his responsibility, didn't play over there at all, and Demange is incredibly fast, a lot faster than I thought.
Oh, what a spin move by Tevin Coleman. He'll be taken down just shy of the first down marker. Nope, they're going to give him the first down. That's a questionable spot. But they get the first down. How big is that timeout Detroit had to use, Lip? They only have 2 timeouts now at the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, it is. It's a rough situation because they've got 2 timeouts, and Cleveland is a first down away from really putting this kind of out of reach. It's going to take a lot of guts from this Detroit defense.
The handoff to Tevin Coleman over the left side. They brought absolutely everybody on that blitz. They'll take a timeout with 1:57 to go. 2nd and 9, Lip. Do you even contemplate throwing the ball here, or do you just run the ball 3 times?
Absolutely. You have to throw. If you're going to give them a 1-point, game, they're going to have like a minute or so left, 50 seconds or so. You absolutely have to throw. You have to go win the game. You can't just sit back and hope that your defense plays well. You've got to go win this game.
Sonny, 3rd and 6. You throwing the ball here, or are you running it and letting the clock run down and giving it back to Detroit with a 1-point lead?
Well, wait, are you trying to win this game or lose?
You're trying to win, I think. I'm not convinced from either of these teams.
Then I think I run the ball and punt it back because I'm not sure Detroit at this point is going to do anything to you. It's been pretty ugly out there.
Getting the gift sub from the subscriber giveaway, 3rd and 6. This for the ball game. Looks underneath, completes it, and we are going to have back-to-back champs, Lip. The Cleveland Browns doing just enough to win this game and win back-to-back titles. And the Lions are going to be looking back going, what did we do in these last 2 Super Bowls? They could have had 3 titles this cycle, Lip. They're going to walk away with only 1 after literally throwing away back-to-back titles.
Yeah, there you go. That is what I was talking about by go win it. Go put that defense in a position where they have to make a decision. And that decision determines whether you win or lose the Super Bowl. The Lions, that tight end seam, halfback underneath, they've got to pick the right guy. They couldn't cover both. And the halfback comes up with a great catch, great read, and that's what I was talking about by going and winning the game. And I am honestly blown away and so impressed with the run that these Browns have gone on the last 2 seasons of this cycle. It's extremely impressive, and that's it. Watson's the guy.
Sim Football Critic in the chat saying only in the NBL will the Browns win back-to-back chips. Oh, it's so true.
It's been a long road to get to that point, though, for the Browns. They had to fight, and they had to do a lot of things. This wasn't just they came in and started winning early. They had to build. They had to be patient. They had to change the way they played the game several times throughout this cycle to get to this point. So it's not just something where somebody came in and just immediately started winning. It was a long fight over an entire cycle, which is what NBL likes to see whenever we're building these teams for an entire real-life year. So it's very impressive to me.
Sonny Weaver, hashtag top 5.
Oh boy,
he's got more than you, boy.
Yeah, I think that's gonna have to happen.
As the clock runs down on Madden 18, 000s are on the clock. Back to back go the Brownies as the Cleveland Browns eke out a 1-point victory over the Detroit Lions and are your season 32 NBL Super Bowl champions. Congrats to owner Z-Star with the back-to-back titles. Something so difficult to do here in the NBL. It is time to make our selection for the NBL Live Player of the Game for the Season 32 Super Bowl. So many choices for the Cleveland Browns. But for me, I'll get my opinions from my 2 colleagues. For me, it's Joe Watson. I know he made a really bad interception, but other than that one bad throw, he was stellar all game. Lip, what are your thoughts on Player of the Game?
Yeah, I would have to go with Watson just because of that gutsy run that he had for a touchdown. That was the big touchdown. That was the game there early on that really separated these teams. They couldn't find the end zone, and Watson powered through, found it, and really led his team. Right there it is. I'm seeing it on the screen right now. Just an incredibly gutsy run by Watson, and he's absolutely my player of the game.
Sonny, your thoughts on Joe Watson as Player of the Game, or maybe another suggestion?
Well, I'm going to be the contrarian here. I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to go with Tremont Pierce, the linebacker, 2 interceptions on the day. He was all over the field, covering guys down the middle of the field, really taking away a lot of what Aaron Rodgers was looking to do today.
Well, because I make the rules around here, they both deserve it. How about an offensive and a defensive MVP for this game? Joe Watson on the offensive side of the ball is your player of the game. On the defensive side of the ball, Tremont Pierce, 2 interceptions. Congratulations to the Cleveland Browns with their season 32 NBL Super Bowl championship. And that's our final game of the Madden 18 cycle. Unbelievable. We are here. Lip, your final thoughts on what we think was a very good game. By the way, Aaron Rodgers finished with a quarterback rating of 33.5, which is just unbelievable to think about. But an unbelievable cycle. Madden 19 just around the corner, but a look back, 6 Super Bowl champions in 7 seasons. We saw new teams, new owners. Really a fantastic season for the Madden Bomber League.
Yeah, absolutely. For the cycle as a whole, we've talked about it for, I mean, maybe the last 3 seasons or so, 2 or 3 seasons, about how impressive it is to have a different champion each year, and then to watch a back-to-back happen in the last 2 years. This might be my favorite cycle just because of that. It really made it a special cycle. And as far as this game, man, these were 2 teams that averaged over 30 points a game, and they just could not find the end zone, but the big play by Watson put them ahead. And then that incredible defense, that Browns defense that is just absolutely amazing, shuts the door on an absolutely dynamic offense and wins their 2nd NBL championship.
And Sonny Weaver, from a network perspective, so many new things happening on the network. We saw us get our first host from the EA Madden NFL channel. We got to give away some of those beta codes live on Stream. You were on with me, and which went absolutely bonkers. A huge cycle for the network. I feel like as we head into Madden 19, only positive things to come.
Yeah, of course, only more positive things to come for us. You know, you talked about a couple of them. Got a couple new shows, had a great run there with building the franchise. I know Detroit Lions gave you a sneak peek behind the franchise that is so well. And as Intrain points out in the chat, next up, NBL Lake House 2018.
Just some final notes, folks. On the 24th of July, 1 week from tonight, we will have our 5-year sim. That's where we will sim this entire league 5 years, see which teams have done the best team building and perform the best under simulated conditions. It'll be 8 o'clock Eastern time here on the NBL Network. Again, the 5-year sim next Tuesday night. And don't forget, again, we're going to keep reminding you on Twitter. We're going to remind you everywhere. Sign up for our 2nd annual EA Access Tournament. All this for charity, all for Operation Homefront. It is free to enter at 365.maddenbomberleague.com. All proceeds we get going towards Operation Homefront. Apply now. We're up over 200 applicants, so those spots are filling fast. We've already sent out some of our acceptances. Make sure you sign up. And if you don't get in the tournament, make sure you buy one of those EA Access shirts. They're at the same spot on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Under the EA Access Tournament link, you'll be able to buy one of those shirts. 50% of the proceeds go into Operation Homefront. And if you happen to be a subscriber here on the Twitch, on August 2nd, that 12-hour stream on day 1 of the tournament will be given away to our subscribers only, a Michael Jordan signed jersey with certificate of authenticity, that golden Team USA jersey. Anybody who is a big fan of basketball, of just cool things to own, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription every 30 days, or you can just pay the $4.99 and get entered to win that Michael Jordan jersey. What a game. What a season. It's just been an unbelievable cycle here for the NBL Network. For my co-hosts tonight, Sonny Weaver and Lip, for everybody who's been on the NBL Network, and for all of you, a big heartfelt thank you from your network director to everybody who's tuned in to NBL Live and to our NBL Network shows. Don't miss out on the 5-year sim. Don't miss out on the tournament. Don't miss out on any of our Madden 19 action. Once again, for my co-hosts, Lip and Sonny, I am OSU. Thank you to everybody for tuning in to the Madden Bomber League in Madden 18. We will see you on NBL Live throughout Madden 19 coming up next month.